Greetings friends, it's me Lad here. If you aren't interested in commentary, then go ahead and mute me. Okay, so as you can see from that picture, we're going to be doing a double bed and a bunk bed today. The double bed can be a king size bed, queen size bed, whatever you want to make it. You'd pretty much just have to scale up the size, and that would be perfect. Yeah, alrighty, so here we go. I'm already, as you can see, going into the double bed, and both of these beds, for the double bed and the bunk bed, I used the sort of pre-made assets from the Welcome Home pack made by Media Molecule. So I didn't want to reinvent the wheel here. I thought I would just go with something that already exists, and the bed's already pretty good, it's pretty nice, and so I thought I would kind of just remix that and make it a little bit more versatile, because when you're wanting to create family scenes and so on and so forth, not everyone's going to be sleeping in like a sort of single bed sort of situation. So I thought this was a pretty nice way to just take advantage of that. So as you can see, I'm getting into the sculpting of it here. I didn't realize at first, but you can totally just sculpt and edit everything that you get, even the pre-made assets and stuff that Media Molecule has made. So never be afraid to just get in there and start stretching stuff and you know, deleting it or subtracting it. And making it nice, because I didn't really like I like the headboard of this bed, but I wanted to take away the I don't even know what you'd call it, the headboard for the feet, the footboard, for the double bed, because I thought it was kind of just a bit nicer without it. So yeah, here I'm kind of trying to resize the bed and reshape it. I find that using the grid is super useful when doing these things, and you can change the size quite nicely. As you can see, there's this kind of grey block that I'm going there that's kind of serving as the blanket. So that isn't part of the original pre-made assets by Media Molecule, but it's literally just in sculpt mode. I took a rounded square and I kind of stretched it a bit so it was kind of bed sized. And it's actually pretty good. You could actually make a totally new bed from scratch and use that as like a mattress. Or here I kind of just wanted to give it a bit of a nice blanket look, and it came out pretty well, I think. Yeah. So now for this part, I thought when I was extending the headboard that I was going to, for the little cross beams that I'm deleting now, those ones, I was just going to copy one and then just add clones so that I wouldn't have to worry about spacing. Because an awesome thing about the adding clones feature is that it spaces things all nicely and evenly, and even if you move them afterwards, it gets it nice and equally spaced once again. So yeah, guys, that is the double bed. Useful to use the grid, and yeah, it turned out pretty good. So now I'm going into the bunk bed, and sweet, yeah, same as before. I started with the good old-fashioned Welcome Home bed by Media Molecule, and originally I was like, okay, I wanted a room for 2 kids, so I was like, oh well, you know, when I was a kid I slept on a bunk bed with my brother, so here I'm going to create a sort of bunk bed situation, and it's super simple. I pretty much just take it and I put them right on top of each other, so yeah, nothing super fancy or amazing. Where you get a little bit funky here is where I added in the little ladder on the side, which I thought just made it a little bit more realistic, and just adding a little bit of my own personal touch. So pro strat here, when you put down like any sort of shape, use the stretch function. It'll change your life. You know, instead of having to be like, oh, I have to kind of weirdly space it here, just stretch stuff all the time. And yeah, copying, of course, once again, as I'm doing here. I only needed to make one step for this ladder, and then I just copied it a bunch of times. Once again, pro strat is to, rather than copying it, you know, and pasting it a bunch of times, just put it on one end, the kind of furthest point where you want it to end up, and then add in clones like I did there. That's the way. And I even overshot it a bit so that it would be nicely evenly spaced. And yeah, then I lined it up. I changed the color of it to suit the old bunk bed so that you've got a nice white ladder that fits there. And yeah, guys, it came out super well, super nicely. And there you are. That's a bunk bed and a double bed. Woohoo! So yes, friends, thank you so much for sticking around. And here we have the bunk bed, and I've got both of them together now. Here's the double bed, or the queen size bed, or the king size bed, and the bunk bed, and both of those came from a pre-made sort of asset, and I kind of just remixed it and had a bit of a fun time, had a good time. And yeah, guys, I hope this was useful for you, and yeah, thank you for watching, and catch you on the flip-flop. Peace out!